a class of leaders that is going to be silenced, and this will start being witnessed from August 9th, 2027, after the elections. Abductions in Tanzania started way back in 2022. During time of Magufuli, there was some abductions, but they escalated when Suluhu came to power. It is high time for every citizen of East Africa now not to see their brothers from Tanzania, from Uganda, from Kenya as enemies, but to unite.
Hello, great to see you. Welcome back to the Kenya Times. Welcome to this amazing conversation right here. It is now a week after the electoral process took over in our neighboring country, Tanzania, and Samia Suluhu Hassan was sworn in as the president, winning the elections by 98%. However, those elections were termed as unfair by some of the human rights groups. Those are some of the conversations that we are going to have right here together with my guest, who is Felix Wambua, the National Coordinator, FreeKenya Movement. He's right here in studio. We are going to discuss so much. So follow us throughout this conversation until the end. I'm your host, Nixon Jau. Welcome, Mr. Felix.
Thank you.
Amazing to see you.
Good to be here too. Yeah.
Let's begin. What is, FreeKenya Movement all about?
Yeah, FreeKenya Movement is a social justice movement that agitates for civil rights and political rights of Kenyans. But of recent, we have had interest on what is happening across the region, and that's why you saw Bob and Oyo travel to Kampala, not because they were going to interfere with political issues or Ugandan issues. They're just going to learn and see how things are done and how you can transform from being an activist to a leader, how you can transform from the streets now to the boardrooms where you are making the policies that you want to see working for your people and not always saying must go.
Yes.
Now you come in by yourself and do what those
Needed
who have
to
been
be
in
done.
power failed to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does that mean within the Eastern African community? Because recently we have really experienced cases of kidnapping, cases of abductions, but they end up, going just like that. What does this mean?
It means that abductions, killings, extrajudicial killings, arbitrary arrests, trumped up charges is the new script that the regional governments are using to rule by ensuring that they instill fear in the citizens of this region. I believe that it is high time for every citizen of East Africa now not to see their brothers from Tanzania, from Uganda, from Kenya as enemies, but to unite. These things are happening to divide us. They want to use divide and rule. For Kenyan to see a Tanzanian as an enemy because our brother Hodor was killed in Tanzania, because our brother Bob Jagi was abducted in Uganda. We will not fight Ugandan citizens. We will take them as our brothers, unite, and the citizens of the three countries will condemn the three heads of state. It will be so sad to them that one day, because they have tendency of lending out the armies, lending out the police to go and help suppress any protest, it will be so sad for them that one day, not so long from today, the citizens of East Africa will protest same day. If it's on Monday, Dar es Salaam they will protest, Kampala they will protest, Nairobi they will protest.
Is that possible?
That is very possible, because we are being united by the blood that is being shed by these three dictators. We are being united by the abductions. We are being united by the deteriorating economy joblessness is eating youths in Tanzania, just as it is doing here in Kenya. Natural resources are being exploited at the expense of foreign masters, at the expense of the sons and daughters of East Africa. It is high time not to see these two masters, three leaders as the face of dictatorship, but to think what powers are controlling them. Because when we are trying to cry out to UN is congratulating Suluhu. When we cry out to the EU was present when Suluhu was being sworn in, not even being sworn in, when she was crowning herself, because that was not an election.
That was not an election?
That is anarchy. She crowned herself as a queen. That was
really,
when you look at the judge who was conducting, who was officiating this. The had just been appointed from her home, back from her village, Zanzibar. He is not even qualified to become a judge. Go back and do your background research, because we are exchanging information day and night with our counterparts in Tanzania, with our counterparts in Uganda, and we know we are being led by the same manuscript. Our constitutions were abandoned long time ago. Yeah.
Now let's dive in, Wambua, to the Tanzanian election, where recently, it is a week when we experienced the electoral process taking place, and protest was experienced in some parts of the Tanzanian regions. First and foremost, how do you assess the whole process of the Tanzanian election? Was it fair?
It was election fraud. It was broad robbery with violence, because election, it's not an event. Election starts after one election is over, and since the election, the appointment, the voting, and the coming in of Magufuli before his demise, there was the Independent National Electoral Commission of Tanzania. When Suluhu came in, appointed her people. She has all the powers to appoint the commission. Solely does that, implying that you are bringing the people who will work in your favor. Secondly, when you arrest, when you bring up trumped up charges on your key opposition in the contest, what does that say? You are trying to make it a one-man show, a one-person event, a one-person contest. Suluhu had no competitor on the ballot.
But there were other competitors there.
Mchezo wa town, because we all know that she just got her people. Who knows them? How can I be your competitor? And 16 of us, we are garnering 2% of the votes that are being casted. Out of the almost 38 million registered voters.
But according
Suluhu gets 98% of the votes.
But allow me to cut you short. During the inauguration ceremony, that we saw Samia Suluhu and sworn in, she said that this election reflected the democracy, and she even congratulated her opponents who she was competing with. Why do you say that she was the only?
Is democracy defined by how many people you are going to kill before you get to power? Is democracy going to be defined by imprisoning your key competitors? That's not democracy at all. Democracy to them is just winning the election, not the process. Democracy is the process. When there is transparency on how the ballots are cast. Now, let's just get real. Let's sober up and think of these are 32, let's say 38 million votes, and no internet, no electricity, how are they going to be counted in less than 48 hours? No electricity. Who counted them at night? You know, it's even a young kid will see that these people are just fooling us. We cannot tolerate this any longer because they are just using the election cycle for formality. They do not believe, like just here in Kenya, they do not believe that a sitting president can be voted out. They do not believe that when people are tired with you, you should just hand over the instruments of power and let another person take over. And that's what true patriots do. But what are we seeing not only in East Africa but in Africa, where we have a 92-year-old
president
winning an election in a wheelchair? They are just waking up, hey boss, you have won the election. It doesn't, guys.
Let's go to the inauguration.
We are here not because we want it. We are here because some days back we were silent. And
talking of Tanzania, during the election, that was on 29th, we saw that young people around the country in Tanzania came out to protest, and even some were rebelling against the president, Samia Suluhu Hassan. What does that mean to that country when young people come out and rebel against you?
You know, historically, Tanzania has been a very docile population. Tanzanians, they believed in non-violence forms of protesting. They would maybe sit down or stay at home. But they have realized that this was not going to work because abductions in Tanzania started way back in 2022. During time of Magufuli, there was some abductions, but they escalated when Suluhu came to power. They saw the first person gone, the second person is gone, until the people who mattered in their society started going. That is when they woke up. They thought that Kenyans are violent, Kenyans are like they have bad manners, they do not know how to express themselves.
Yes.
But it caught them unaware that you can never lock a cat in a room and think that you are just going to kill it without it retaliating. It will end up killing you. So Tanzanians have been cornered. The economy is bad. Their natural resources are going to the hands. Actually, Magufuli was a bad person, but they liked him because he made sure that natural resources were owned by Tanzanians. But now, this time round, they are being given to Omans. Look at who owns the Dar es Salaam port. Look at who owns the major natural resources in Tanzania since the demise of Magufuli. Tanzania has been given to dogs. That's why these people are waking up. Ala, Kilimanjaro sio yetu tena. Ala, bandari sio yetu tena. The only way to have their bandari is to protest. Because one thing that was good and common within our forefathers was they ensure that we have Article 37, which is Article 37 in the Kenyan Constitution, the legalizing protests. Because that was the only way, if you feel that the courts are not doing what you want, if you feel like leaders, nowhere you can get the justice you want, just protest. Express your
frustrations.
Frustration on the streets and let those who are in power understand, because that is the language. That is the language that they seem to understand better. So Tanzania has done better than Kenya in protest, and we congratulate them. We congratulate them for Tanzania went out for 24 hours, day in, day out on the streets. That is where we missed as Kenyans. They learned from us and they made it more perfect.
They improve it.
They are now better than the teachers. Okay. But we want to assure you, our time is coming. We will prove them wrong.
Oh, Mr. Felix. Now, we have seen even that protest in Tanzania. Majorly, if you observe well, and even us as journalists, when we were observing, it is a certain age group which are very rebellious of these current, of the older generation and older leaders. Here in Kenya, some of the lawyers say legacy politicians. And what does that mean? Because even in Africa, we have seen the revolution by young people coming out and rebelling against the legacy politicians and how they're leading. So what does that mean, especially to the Eastern African community, when we see these young people, most of them are Gen Z and millennials, coming out and saying, no, we don't want this government. We don't want to be led this way. What does that mean for the future of...
It means that we are ready to shape our own future. We are not going to read from their scripts. We are not going to let history, which was predefined by the colonial masters, to guide us. We want to write our own history. We want the generations to come to be proud of us, just as we were proud of them. Time has come. Those who were groomed by Nyerere came a point that the knowledge, the ideals, the ideologies that they were left with, they have diluted them. They have ignored them.
Yes.
Now we want to get back to the track. We want to get back to the trail so that we do not regret in the near future. When I was young, why didn't I do this? We will do it now. When we are growing up, we are facing more challenges than any other person because these old men and women are rewarding themselves. So and so son is in this field, so and so son is here. So we are in a generation where our roots cannot be traced. So for us to have a generation that will come and trace their roots, we must lay that firm foundation now as the young people of East Africa. We do not want to be swayed to believe that everything that they have been doing is right. No. Just as technology is advancing, we are far much ahead of where they were in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and even late 90s. We are in an age where we want to be free, just free. I want something in the shop, I can order it, come to my room freely. I want something in the government, I can just tap a button and it's availed freely. That is the environment that we want to operate in. We do not want to operate in chains. We do not want to operate in fear. We do not want to operate in intimidation. We do not want to operate in memories of blood being shed because of police brutality. We want to cleanse this now. That's why the more you kill, the more you are radicalizing them, because they know they are the next to be shot. They are the next to be abducted. So the best way to do it is to stop the abductions. And they will cool down and go on with their lives. 5 years ago, 3 years ago, very few young people had aspirations to vie for elective positions. But today, every young person is now like...
wanting to be a leader.
These wazees, they are just cousins, political cousins, who will group today in this forest, the next morning they are in another forest, and they give that forest a political name, political party. So where are we going to be as the young generation? Even as you see groupings, let me come back to the Kenyan context because I understand better the Kenyan environment. You realize that the united opposition has no room for any young person. Look at the faces that they are presenting. Which new face do you see there?
But the youth around there are some of the youths.
Some of them have been the sellouts of this protest that we have had. They have made, they have punctured the revolution because we want to tell them the revolution has been punctured, but we are coming back again, stronger and better. This time on the ballot, we are coming on the ballot. We are preparing for the ballot. So as they try to suppress even the voter registration, as they try to suppress acquiring or acquisition of the IDs, we will meet them in the ballot.
We'll come to that.
Sure.
But we are still talking about Tanzania. And when we saw the president, Samia Suluhu Hassan, when she was being sworn in now officially as the president, winning 98% of the total population in the country, she said that the protests that we experienced in our country were not Tanzanians. Most of them were invaders who came to our country to protest. What do you have to say on that?
I'm not going to take any side on that, because mostly, let me paraphrase this. Most of the protesters were Tanzanians, and most of them were not Tanzanians.
In what sense?
She was right to say that Kenyans in Kenya were protesting. That's why Kenyans have taken as their responsibility to expose the evils. More than 2,500 young Tanzanians have been killed, and they are trying to cover that up by burying them like dogs on mass graves. Suluhu, even if you are an animal, give these bodies to their families to receive decent burial. They are human beings. Yeah.
And also we have heard of the heartbreaking stories, you know, of those Kenyans who are killed there. One of them is called John Okoth, who was a teacher in Dar es Salaam. And maybe as the national coordinator of the Free Kenya Movement, how many other Kenyans do you believe are among the victims?
John Okoth has been in Tanzania for more than 10 years. So he's partly a Tanzanian.
But he's a Kenyan
in 10 years means that he has grown the economy of that country. Much as he's earning, he has educated them. Maybe those who are speaking good English are students of Okoth. For the 10 years, you can't tell me that that country becomes your home. May he so rest in peace. And I believe that his blood shall not go in vain. Somebody will have to pay for that. We are still working closely with other organizations. Once we compile the data, I want to release an exact number so that we may even have the government of Kenya answerable on what transpired to the death of these Kenyans, because some of them were dragged from their houses. We have information that
from the houses,
the police commander in Dar es Salaam issued an order that if you own a house in Tanzania, in Dar es Salaam, give us the list of all foreigners that you have in your buildings, in your apartments. So Kenyans have been sold out. They are the sacrificial lambs. They want to be used as scapegoats on the protest, that these are the people who are protesting. You know, Kenyans are hard-working people wherever you go. And to a larger extent, Kenyans are all over within the East Africa region. Not only East Africa region, but the globe, around the world. And noise-making Kenyans are very disciplined. They stay within their boundaries. A Kenyan that you meet out there is a decent person, is a professional. He knows what he's going to do, what sent him there. He went away from home to make home better, not going to cause chaos, not going to cause disturbance, but to build the economy of our country from away. the relationship that we are going to have with our neighbors is going to be cold and, let me say, confused, because we cannot talk of promoting tourism within the region when you are seeing every Kenyan as a terrorist, as a protester. So it's sad. It's sad that we are losing the best brains. Remember, Kenya has been sending away the best brains. And losing the best brains means that we are losing a lot of investments. Imagine how much it takes for one to go all the way to the university level. How much resources are used. Yeah, and time, energy.
And energy.
Sacrifices made by the parents. It pains me when I see the family of Co-Ord, their breadwinner, is gone in understandable circumstances, in a situation that you cannot comprehend what happened, because to get evidence from Tanzania is becoming so hard. Media has been suppressed. Journalists have been killed, targeted, and silenced, because to the regime they are the most lethal, they are the most dangerous professionals who can make them have a date with ICC. Yeah, thank you.
And recently we saw the Prime Cabinet Secretary on behalf of the Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, Musalia Mudavadi, saying that they will intervene to our fellow brothers and sisters who are outside the country to ensure that they stay well. Is that a relief to some of our fellow Kenyans outside the country, especially in Tanzania?
I want us to know that it's not the first time that Kenyans are suffering in the hands of foreign governments. We have had Kenyans in Saudi, we have had Kenyans in Lebanon, and Musalia and his team have been doing, if not nothing, very little. And they only come out when the media tries to highlight and magnify these ordeals that are happening to our brothers. It has been more than 38 days. We are speaking of Bob and Oyo, but he has said nothing about it. He came out so fast because they had sent government representative, the Deputy President Kindiki, for inauguration, for crowning of Suluhu, Dada Amin, and this was just to legitimize that Dada Amin is legally elected. That's why they're saying we are going to talk to our Tanzanian counterparts. They are not their counterparts anymore. A counterpart should be a legally elected government, and not, those are terrorists. They should be terming them as terrorists. They are abductors more than Boko Haram. Because if you see at what they have done in the last 7 days, killing more than 2,300 young people, going to homes, finding a young mother with a baby on her back, shooting at her, point blank, in front of her other 2 kids. Is that not a Boko Haram? Is that not a terrorist? We do not have any business to negotiate with Suluhu anymore as Kenyans, because Suluhu is no longer the president of Tanzania.
But she
has crowned herself as the president. She has crowned herself as the queen, because no constitution that is guiding her. She is guiding herself. If there was constitutionalism in Tanzania, she would not have arrested Tundu Lissu for just saying we need constitutional reforms before elections. She would not have stopped the key political parties from participating in that election. So this was a one-person show. She was competing with herself. And when it comes to that point, Tanzanians, no reforms, no elections. No reforms, no elections. Did it happen? No. Actually, 100% Tanzanians succeeded in ensuring that there was no election. She had to cook figures so that she can be the...
Did she cook figures? According to her, Tanzanians turned out and
you cannot
voted
have
for her.
A backing of 32 million people and go for the inauguration in a military barracks. What are you fearing? Is these people are your friends? Look at what Raila has been doing, and may he so continue resting in power. Raila saw himself at Uhuru Park with the backing of the people. That was treason. What did the government of Kenya do? It had to go silent because they were the ones who were committing treason and not Raila. He was the people's president and they were the state power holders. There are two different things that we need also to control, to look at here. The people's president and state power controllers. There are people who will take power and control it, and there are those who will stand by the people. Samia is controlling the state power, is controlling the instruments of power. That's why she is tough on everyone. That's why she has turned out to be more worse than Delila.
Wambua, since now the Tanzania is still in the 7 days mourning that was announced by the Chadema party, what do you have to say to Tanzanians then?
The world is watching, and you are not alone in this. One life lost are too many lives, and death of one Tanzanian is a death of an East African, is a death of an African. Injustice in Tanzania, injustice anywhere, is injustice everywhere. We will help out in documenting all the happenings, and wherever you shall need us, we shall be there as witnesses because we have the recordings, we have the documentations, and ensure that we have a date with you at ICC. And this time the culprit shall be the lady from Zanzibar who is trying to terrorize Tanganyikans. She wants to divide Zanzibar and Tanganyika. Do not let that consume you. Do not buy that. Stay strong, stay united. Zanzibars have been suffering for long. Now, Tanzanian people in the mainland, it's your time to see them as brothers. Do not raise up for another genocide. Embrace them, ensure that you live by the rule of law, ensure that you maintain your ujamaa. That is what your forefathers left you with. Pendaneni, nyinyi ni mandugu. Mnaongea lugha moja Kiswahili. Ongeleshaneni na mpate kuishi na amani. Yeah,
and maybe looking forward and looking ahead with the Tanzanians' official results, how do you envision the future of the regional human rights? And is there hope for reforms or witnessing the entrenchment of the...
It's high time, because everyone who speaks the truth is termed as an activist. I never knew I'm an activist until Bob and Oyo were abducted. I never knew that I'm a human rights defender until I saw Boniface Mwangi and Agatha Twaire going through torture in Tanzania. I had to speak up. No one was born an activist. No one was born a human rights defender. Just as you were not born a journalist. But you have to come in and fill the void in the society. every Kenyan, every East African, it's high time to rise up. You were not born an activist, you were not born a fighter, but the blood we see every day, but the abductions we hear every day are turning us out to speak up. Please, do not keep quiet. When they went for socialists, Jews were quiet. When they went for Jews, the Catholics went mum. But when it was time for Catholics, no one was there to defend them. So it's high time we raise up and defend each other. Silence is the most dangerous poison that can kill all of us. Tomorrow it's them. Yesterday was them. Today it may be you or me. The civil rights space is shrinking every day within the region. And if we do not care as Kenyans, if we do not learn from our neighbors, we are going to learn through our own experience.
And let's come back to our country and talk a bit about the Gen Zs as we conclude. Recently, we have seen the government forming a compensation panel to compensate the Gen Zs and young people who were killed during the 2024 protest, and even this year in various protests. Maybe as the human rights defendant, how far are those cases of justice?
In Kenya, we are living in an ocean of crime. We do not know what to start with. We have cases pending since 2023 when Raila was on the streets. That is the Sufuria revolution. That went silent and seems to be forgotten. The people that the president of Kenya is trying to become their darling are the people who suffered most in Nyanza, Homa Bay. Many were killed, many were brutalized, many are still living with scars today. The other day, a teacher was killed, Albert, in the police cells. And it's evident that these are the security operatives that are meant to protect us who took his life. They are not God. It's only God who can take someone's life. For me and my team, FreeKenya Movement, and other Kenyans believe that we do not need compensation without justice. There is no way you can...
But compensation is part of the justice.
Compensation is part of, but justice comes first. Justice comes first. What if today you compensate me, tomorrow there is another protest? It's constitutional right for everyone to protest. And I lose another child, I lose another brother. Oh, another person is abducted. You know, how are you going to compensate those who are mentally affected?
But there are some of the Kenyans,
let's
Wambua, allow me to cut you short.
Yeah.
There are some of the Kenyans who feel that as far as the judicial justice is concerned, compensation is also part of it. For example, if someone was shot dead and he died.
If you keep doing something every day, it becomes a behavior. If you keep repeating that behavior, it will become an habit. And habit will be permanently be part of you. So if we keep compensating without justice, tomorrow we are headed towards elections. They will kill another young people, they will kill another protester, and they will say, oh, we are used of compensating. Shall we be dying, then our kids be given money? For what? I want to urge you, parents, relatives of the victims, you are not vampires. The money that you are being given, they are just giving it as a price of the blood of your son. We will not allow that to continue. Let them first face justice. Those who pulled the trigger should first stand before the courts of law, judged, sentenced, then compensations comes later. Like, have you been following Tanzania? They have said they do not want any compensation. The only compensation they want is to have that person gone. They just want peace. You cannot keep preaching peace where there is no justice. You cannot keep preaching peace where there is abduction. You cannot keep preaching peace, but on the other side when you turn back, you grab another person. When you turn back, you shoot another person. After Albert Ojwang, when Albert Ojwang was dying in the police cells, he was 7th person. Since his death to date, IMLU released their report yesterday. There are now 17 young persons who have died, implying that 10 more have died since the death of Ojwang. And we are talking of compensation. It's like I come, I see you are an obstacle to me, I kill you, and I inherit your wife. Because I give them money, I school your kids, I give them decent jobs. As long as I've done away with you, you are my only obstacle towards my political goals, toward my fishy and evil agendas on this country. Shall you keep paying for that? And again, the money they are using to compensate is just the taxpayers' money, which is supposed to be improving our health. Look at how school fees is going to be next year. Let's rethink of our country.
And as a human rights defendant, what are some of the challenges that you face in trying to find justice to the young people?
One, some people will not even appreciate what you are doing. They will think, oh, he's paid to speak. They will think, oh, he's building up his profile. No. It's scary. You know, when you are leaving the house, then your daughter will be like, Daddy, don't go to Maandamano. Ruto will douche you. You know, they are the toy guns. Because they have seen it on the screens.
Yes.
What do you think that this kid will come up with? The seed that this regime is incubating in the young minds is going to be boomerang in the near future if they do not change. They suppressed our fathers. That was during Moi regime. They went silent. But what have we done? They will not suppress us, because a revolution will always give birth to a new leader. We went to the streets the other day. There are those who were self-proclaimed leaders of Gen Z. They were snatched. They thought that the movement will die. But what is happening? You can kill a person, you can kill a messenger, but the message will remain.
The message will remain.
The message will remain, because that we say we are leaderless. You kill me tomorrow, he picks up. We say revolution will always give birth to a new leader every day. I never knew that I could sit for an interview when Bob Jagi was around, because he has been our chairperson. And Nicholas Oye will do the nice petitions that we have been doing, because we want a fair political space. We have petitioned severally, IBC, on election rolls. So every time that you think that there is going to be a void, God will always raise another leader for that generation. So anyone that thinks that in absence of the leaders, that people are going to be scattered. Remember, as we scatter, we regather in fear and be like, are we going to sit here until we die?
And young people said, especially the Gen Zs, even during the protest, that we are leaderless, we are tribeless. But then they want to take over the leadership of this country. And to take over the leadership, you need to have a leader. Don't you see that is deceiving them? It is like they are deceiving themselves?
No, they were deceiving the leaders. They meant that they do not have leaders in that parliament, because those people were not representing their interests. So we are going to occupy that parliament being leaderless. Again, when you rephrase that, you realize that if we come out as an organized group with a leader, it's very fast to be silenced. Like during the Mau Maus, they would look for the key people like Kenyatta, Rai Odinga, the Mzee, Kubai, Ngei, take them to Kapenguria. That was the Kapenguria 6. That would be the easiest way to suppress any movement, to suppress any protest. But this time round, people are in Kisumu, even in Kericho, they protested, even in Eldoret, Mombasa. I'm in Nairobi, speaking from Nairobi, just say, tomorrow, tunaenda maandamano. Did you see what happened on Mombasa Road, Emali? We are speaking from Nairobi, but they are organizing themselves.
Yes.
So that means that you have to take responsibility from where you are. Assuming that you are left alone with Ruto, will you just sit akuwe? You will raise up. Na mwambia hapana bwana, hii maneno yendi hivyo. Hii finance bill hapa na hapa inatufinya. Because you have to take that courage at that moment.
And where do you see the future of Kenyan politics, especially in this digital era?
There is a blood and class of leaders that is going to be silenced. And this will start being witnessed from August 9th, 2027, after the elections. There are people that you are not going to hear about them anymore because
they will be forgotten.
They will be forgotten because they still believe in the old traditional politics. But for us, we want a country that has systems that work for the people. We want a country that allows, gives room for everyone to thrive in their own field, in their own space. It is not going to be easy to sweep all of them at a go, but it's going to be easy with time. It is started, it will continue, and it will be escalating every other electioneering period. Yeah.
And what role do you see social media playing, especially in fighting for justice?
Social media is good, same time is bad, because much as I can give it 80% of its goodness, there is that element of misuse of the same. Misuse does not mean just abuse, blah, 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 data protection, no. The misuse is when now a fellow youth is being used to tear you down instead of building you. Misuse is whereby I personally, as Felix, who cannot hire bloggers to push my agenda, I'm easily countered with propaganda and lies. So we must be very keen and critically analyze whatever we come across in the social media. Because even the old dogs are learning these new tricks and are using the same to lure us. And most young people are even abducted through the social media. You meet someone online, they will date you, blah, blah, blah. The other day, femicide. The other day, lost. So we got to be very careful with the social. It's a powerful tool. It's the most fashionable way to speak out to the masses. But yeah, that small element can tear us down completely.
All right. Yeah. And maybe your last word to our audience and Kenyans at large?
Kenyans, you are on your own, and everything that you see working is not working for you. If it's SHA works for Ruto. If it's the new funding model in our education system, it works for Ruto. When masses miss classes, when masses drop out, it works for Ruto because he wants to lead zombies, he wants to lead idiots, people who cannot understand anything when it comes to interpretation of policies, interpretation of where the world is headed. Kenyans today is the day that we need to wake up. We have been cautioned, we have been alerted to raise up, but we seem still to be dragging. Time is now. It's you that can save Kenyans in Tanzania. It's you that can save Kenyans that are in Saudi, Kenyans that are duped to go to Russia. Not Mudavadi, not the ministry, not the government. Kenyans, it's high time to wake up and prepare. Prepare to send this Ruto as a package home, because Rutoism is killing the country. Beyond 2027, we will be far beyond where we were in 1990s if we dare, and I repeat, if we dare to give him another chance. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for coming to our studio. Looking forward to have you once again in other conversations.
Wow, thank you.
Amazing. So that is where we conclude our conversation right here in our studio together with Felix Wambua, who is the National Coordinator, Free Kenya Movement. See you in the next conversation. I've been your host, Nixon Joe.